You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Join me on Twitter, at Mr. Freeze, the Iceman Show, and join me on Instagram at the Iceman Show. Also, go to my Patreon page. Check me out on Patreon. Go to patreon.com and look for the Iceman Show and contribute. What I'm asking people to do is contribute $5, $10 a week. It'll be a tax write-off because it's connected to my nonprofit. And this way you can help out. Right now I'm raising money for backpacks for next school year, fall 2018. So we're gonna make sure these black kids have book bags and also school supplies. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, why should we help these black kids buy supplies, school supplies? Look here, man. If you see yourself as an island, that's fine. If you see yourself as an island, no problem, brother. You want to be an island, go ahead and be an island. But that energy that you send out here in the universe, when it's come time for you to need help, somebody's going to say, why should I help you? Hopefully that won't happen. But let me tell you something, based on life experience, when you go out here and you send bad energy out here into the universe, sooner or later that bad energy is gonna come back and give you worse treatment that you would have given. That's why I don't think like that no more. I used to think like that. Why should I help? Why should I help other people? Why should I help somebody when their parent or that person should be well enough off to go get their own stuff? Well, you know what? Everybody ain't got it like you, and everybody ain't got it like me. And if you have a computer and you're sitting here listening to this video, that means you got enough resources to go out there and get you a computer. Everybody can't afford a computer. Yeah, you can go out here and get a computer for $150. Yeah, I got a couple cheap computers I bought from Walmart for $200. And yeah, all their worth is $200 too. That's why I had to go and buy another decent computer, because I wasn't going to buy another $200 computer. So I had to sit here and wait for this computer to come in the mail, because I don't, I'm real funny style about buying certain computers out of stores. And I wasn't going to give Best Buy any money, because Best Buy is ridiculous. And I probably could have found, and then too, I don't like the brands that they sell in Walmart. I don't want no HP. I got an HP laptop sitting here on the floor that's a piece of garbage. And I'll never buy another HP. HP used to be good until they merged with Compaq. And Carly Fiorina, then the bum CEO, starts sending their manufacturing over to China, because before that they made everything in the U.S. That's why HP computers and printers were so highly sought after. But the last 10 years, about the last 10 years, they've turned into garbage, because they're made in China and they're garbage. And I've had nothing but problems out of that computer. I've had it in the shop at least once to get it fixed so I can use it, because it, the hard drive went out on it, so I had to get another one put in. Whereas I got a Toshiba sitting here, but the only problem is the software that I use for videos stopped working, so I had to go get another computer so that I can keep doing videos. Although I could have used these other computers, but this computer is specifically for that. For this computer is my going to be my video computer, and so I had to do what I had to do and go and order another computer. Anyway, the question that I have for you all tonight is, do you understand the seriousness of what's going on in our society as it relates to
Hi there, Harry.
I don't know what's going on with my iPad. For some reason Siri just keeps coming on. Siri, shut down.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah, bitch. Anyway, you're gonna have to pick a side. You're gonna have to pick a side, man. And the one thing I notice about us is
Joseph Gordon-Levitt dropped the mic. Only some
is we don't understand that we're going to have to pick a side. And I don't care what you say or what you do, especially black men. Black women can kind of float out here and not do anything, and eventually they'll find their way back. But black men, you have to pick a side. You can't get around it. You're either on Team Black or you're on Team White Supremacy. It's that simple. You can sit here and say, well, I've been cooning for a minute and that's been working for me, and I like to smile and grin and go out for drinks with my white friends. You can still go out. You can still do all those things. You can still do those things. But when it comes time to be a serious black man and you have to pick a side, you're going to have to be on the right side of history. And there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You look, as you are seeing out here, like look. A lot of these high profile coons out here and bed wenches, they're getting their comeuppance. They're getting their comeuppance. Look at your boy, Mr. used to be TV1. He's come on in the morning, TV1, Mr. Ascot. Okay? Roland Martin. My frat brother. He ain't worked since. He ain't worked since they fired his butt. And the best he'll get is maybe coming on CNN when they have an election cycle coming around. They might hire him to, and pay him $10,000 a day to come up there and sit there and act like he's important. But that's about it. That's as far as it's going to go for him. There ain't nothing else for him to do on TV. See, when you go and start burning bridges, talking crazy to people on the show, and then people you ought to be talking crazy to, like Richard Spencer, you're going to sit there and handle him with kid gloves. He didn't take Richard Spencer to task. That interview was weak. It was weak. And he looked ineffective trying to interview Richard Spencer. But you're going to have to pick a side. I've already picked a side. I'm team black. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care if they get I don't care if white folks get mad at me because I ain't their buddy. I'm not your buddy, dude. And even even when, because I'm dealing with this white chick right now. Even though I deal with white women sometimes, when it's time, when I get out of that bed with them, I'm still the Iceman. I'm not, just because I'm messing with you don't mean I'm a coon. See, I don't lose my identity just because I roll around in the hay with somebody. I don't do that. See, I'm just like them. I'll sleep with you, but that's as far as it go. I'm not here to support your politics. I'm not here to put money in your pocket. I'm not here to do any of that because I believe in picking a side. And a lot of these women, they probably do say, you know, this guy tricked me. You know, he acted like a coon when I first met him, but then, you know, after he, you know, got between my legs, he showed me what he was really about. And I'm like, that's your problem. I'm not the garbage man. I'm not the garbage man. So I'm not here to kiss your behind. I don't kiss white women's behinds. And I see them around here expecting that kind of treatment. That's okay. You can expect that kind of treatment all you want. But when it's all said and done, you don't mean anything to me. Because I know I don't mean nothing to you. I don't mean anything to you. And you don't mean anything to me. I mean, we're cool. We're cool as far as, you know, you somebody to kick it with. But that's as far as it goes. We don't have anything else popping off. Because I have had situations when I've dated white women where they said to me, it just seems like it's like you don't. It's like you're a different person. It seems like, you know, you seem very angry about, you know, stuff, and I just don't understand why you're so mad. You know, we have a black president, and I'm just like, dude, I know you didn't just go there. This is when Obama was in office, and I'd be saying like, you're talking crazy. Okay. And let me address something real quick. There's this one guy that, for all intents and purposes, I knew something was funny style about this dude. And this guy, what did he do? Oh, and I'm not gonna call out his username because I'm not gonna do that, but I should. Anyway, this guy, he always comes by and makes these little slick comments, these little, you know, talking out the side of his neck type of comments, talking real reckless about the mouth. This dude said that he said, hey Ice, why you always talking about white supremacy all the time? Why you always talking about white men raping black women all the time? And I'm, let me, and I looked and I said, you know what? Let me look at this guy's channel. And so I clicked on his channel, and I kind of knew this about this guy, but look, going to his channel confirmed it for me. I went to this guy's channel, and lo and behold, he looks like a somebody whose mama is probably white and his daddy's black. That's usually the case. And he was a big Kentucky Fried Chicken eating mug. Okay? He was very fluffy. Okay? He was morbidly obese. He wasn't like 300, 400 pounds, but he was still a pretty chunky and overweight guy. And I said, that's why he don't like hearing about white supremacy, because he don't want to hear about his mama. Because I guarantee his mama's white. And I said he don't want to hear about his mama. And see what see, that's why you're dealing with a lot of weak ass dudes. See, a lot of these guys, when you have these guys that have you got these half white dudes, they got these white mamas. See, these guys don't want to hear nothing about no white supremacy. They don't want to hear it. And I'm not gonna say it's because their mom or their dad, who happens to be Caucasian, is a white supremacist. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that even if they're not, these guys can't take it because they're weak dudes. And that's why you notice with these so-called biracial types, there's no such thing as biracial as far as I'm concerned. You're either black or you ain't. So if your mama's white or your daddy's black, you're black. You're black. I don't care how Caucasian your mama is or your daddy is. You still are a black person as far as we are concerned. And actually as far as they're concerned. Because they treat so-called biracial black people like crap. Ever hear Halle Berry? You ever hear an interview with Halle Berry, where Halle Berry talks about how she grew up in Cleveland? That's what makes it funny to me about so-called biracial people like her, because her going out here getting all these white men and they calling her the N-word. I just find it interesting how as soon as they get it, as soon as they get established here, they go running over here getting with a white man. They go get with a white man. The white men that Halle Berry has messed around with over the years have been worse than all the black husbands and boyfriends she had put together. They were worse. And one of the reasons why Halle Berry got her butt kicked by Wesley Snipes in particular is because she's a cheating whore. A lot of guys in Hollywood bone Halle Berry. That's why when you see her with all these white men, and that don't help her. That doesn't help her image. That doesn't help her image any. That doesn't help her image. Because people who know her, people who know of her and people who know of her in the business know that she ain't about nothing. They know she ain't about anything. But these so-called biracial types, man, they hate it when they hear about their relatives being white supremacists. And they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the pain of what their ancestors on one side of their family has done to black people. But that ain't going to stop me. And I told this guy, I said, hey, man, if you don't like the content of this show, then don't listen. You want to solve the problem of me talking about white supremacy? Don't listen to my show. That way you ain't got to worry about me talking about white supremacy, homie. You ain't got to worry about it. You dig? But you're going to have to pick a side. You're either going to be team white supremacy or you're going to be team black. Which one is it? You're either going to be team black empowerment or you're going to be team white supremacy. Because the day of black men and black women fooling around and clowning and acting like idiots and turning up, we're starting to see that that's not getting us anywhere. That's not getting us anywhere. I'm looking online today and now they're talking about what's his name? Ben Carson, the HUD secretary. He's talking about making people on Section 8 pay more money. Which, looking at how much they're going to raise it, it's not that much. You're talking about raising it between $50 to $150 for that. Now, for these women who are sitting on their butt, driving a used Lexus and living in a 4-bedroom house, paying $100, paying $36 a month for rent, and yet these women are working jobs that pay them enough money where where they can live on their own and not be on Section 8. They're gonna have to do it. They can pay that. They can pay it. They can pay it. They can pay it. Those people can pay it. See, the problem with HUD and welfare and any of this stuff, you know what's wrong with it? Disabled vets, people who are emotionally and mentally disabled, I don't have a problem paying tax money that's going to pay to take care of them. I don't have a problem, especially veterans, disabled veterans. I have no problem helping taking care of them. Because if it wasn't for them, there'd be a Russian tank rolling past your house right now. Okay? But the people I don't want to help take care of are these people who have working brains, working arms, working legs, and they're sitting up here on welfare. I was looking online, and there was a case. They were talking about this black couple, and they had a car, and they ended up losing their apartment for, I can't remember exactly what was wrong, but they lost their TANF, which TANF is cash assistance. They lost that. I don't know how they lost it, but they lost it. And the only thing they got right now is SNAP benefits, which is food stamps and or EBT card. And that is the only way that they are getting anything. I think they're getting medical benefit, Medicaid, but I think that's about to get cut off too. And they were talking to this couple, and both of them had some pretty pathetic jobs. They had some pretty pathetic jobs. And I was sitting there, and actually, the woman looked like she might have been white or Mexican. I don't think she was black, because the boy looked like he looks half white. The kid that they did show, I think they have two boys. And I said to myself, what are they doing? I think the woman works like Walmart or some fast food job. And I'm thinking, how are you in your 30s, close to your 30s, and you don't have a decent job? Because the man was talking about, you know, he drives he's a Lyft driver, but because of the shocks on their car broke, he can't he stopped working for Lyft. Look, people, let me say this to you. If you think you're gonna make enough money driving for Lyft and Uber to pay your bills, use a fool. Use a fool. They don't pay. Let me explain something to you. Taxi drivers make more than Uber drivers. Because they, for the same distance, if Uber's going to charge you $25 to go somewhere, you can best believe the taxi will charge you $45 or $50 to go that same place. So taxi drivers make more. Uber drivers, if you're trying to make a living off Uber and Lyft, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you, because that's not a job. And look, when I see these people out here with brand new cars delivering Pizza Hut pizzas and Domino's pizzas and Papa John's, they ain't making no money. Matter of fact, I think they don't even pay them anything. I think all they get is commission. All they get is tips. Let me ask y'all something. Are any of you guys pizza delivery drivers? I used to deliver pizzas for Pizza Hut back in the early 90s. But I did it as a side hustle when I was in the military. And the only reason why, okay, they paid us minimum wage, but we also got tips. I guarantee, I bet now they don't even pay tips. They don't even pay them a wage. They just say, hey, you get you can make $100 in tips a night. They talk that crap to them. I see grown people. I see grown ass people my age delivering pizzas in brand new Volvos. I'm not delivering shit. You dig? I ain't delivering shit. You can't pay me a low wage or no wage and then tell me that the only way I get some money is to get a tip. Because some of these people ain't tipping. Some of these people ain't tipping that good. Yeah, $3 or $4 it's better than nothing, but yeah, it's not gonna pay, medical insurance premiums. There were days that, I did make $100 in tips, but look at all the driving I had to do. And that was before TomToms and navigational equipment. Cell phones having navigational equipment on them. That was before that. So if they gave you an address, you just had to know how to get there. I used to deliver all the pizzas on the base. So that's how I made my money, because these other guys couldn't get on base. And because I could get on base, they would have me deliver all the pizzas for people on base. Now the Air Force people would tip the hell out of me. There were times that I did make $80, $90, $100. Most of the time I only made about 40 or 50. I was a hustling brother back then. Okay? But, you know, this couple, let me tell you something. One thing I noticed, and I'm not trying to be nasty here, but one thing I noticed about these brothers that get these little fat white girls, or they get these little fat little Mexican chicks. You ever notice that some of them brothers are sorry as hell? You ever notice that? It seems like some of the brothers that got white girls, they sorry as hell. Like, I got a cousin up there in Minnesota, man. This fool 60-something years. This fool 60 years old. He's sitting up there trying to live off a white girl. Just sorry. I don't have too much respect for his ass. His wife got to go make all the money while he's sitting up there playing around, selling cars. And ain't making 2 cents doing it. I don't have too much respect for brothers that sit around here to get with these white girls and then be half-assed taking care of their families. I don't like that. Because you wouldn't pull that mess with no black woman. You ain't going to pull that mess with no black woman. Unless you a thug. If you a thug, you can do it. But if you a square brother, you're an on-point brother, and something happened to you and you lose your job, good luck. Good luck, player. But you're going to have to pick a side, man. We're going to have to pick a side. Either you're about supporting black businesses and supporting your people, or you're going to end up because the thing is, the way things are shaping up with your boy Trump, they're cutting everything. They're cutting everything. They're cutting everything. Every program out there that's out there for poor people, they're cutting it. And we talk about drastic cuts. You have to understand something. They're going to sit there. This show you that Trump didn't have no sense. There was no reason for him to provide a tax cut. No reason. He said, well, I cut corporate tax down to 21%, because most other countries don't pay that much. That may be true, but those countries' GDP is much smaller than ours. And he said, well, the reason why we cut taxes is so that these corporations, like, for example, Apple, will bring that $385 billion they got sitting in Swiss banks. They'll bring that money back over here and put it in American banks. which Apple has promised to move about $100 billion to American banks within this year. I don't know how true that is, but that's just Apple saying they're going to do that. Cutting corporate taxes doesn't mean. See, you have to understand. So that's supply side economics. Cutting corporate taxes means they're going to keep bringing. They're going to keep their money where it is, and instead of hiring people, they're going to take that money that they save from taxes, and they're going to pay dividend. They're going to start sending out dividend checks to their shareholders. That's what one CEO said he was going to do. Does that sound like that sound like job creation? Corporations don't hire people. I've said this in video. I've been saying this in videos for the past 8 years. Corporations, just because you cut their taxes, doesn't mean they're going to hire people. As a matter of fact, they're not hiring anybody if they don't have to. Corporations don't hire because they want to. They hire because they have to bring in more people in order to get certain things done to make profit. And if they do so and they're not getting any profit out of it, they're going to lay people off. That they're going to lay those new people off, or the people they don't like. That's how they usually do that. That's how they get down. And all these rich folks, they talk about, oh, you know, I've heard, you know, white guys in the athletic club talking about, hey man, Trump saved me $150 a month. You think they're gonna take that money and spend it in the economy? No. They're going to take that money and they're going to pocket it, and they're going to put it in the bank, and they're going to invest it in themselves, or they're going to put it in their IRA, or they're going to just stash it somewhere and save the money. The money's not coming back out into the economy, which means that it's left up to poor people and lower middle class people to shoulder the tax burden, and also to uphold the economy in this country. Does that sound like ruling class and upper middle class people are paying their fair share? No. You have to understand something. Here they are cutting taxes, and the tax revenue that we're bringing in doesn't even come close to the present federal budget. Doesn't come close. It doesn't come close, people. And it probably never will. And they know it's short. If anything, you need to raise taxes. And Obama, he should have put through a tax bill, not the temporary one that he put through. He should have put through a major tax bill like Trump just put through, and raised taxes on these rich fools, and he should have left that corporate tax where it was. Most of the job creation out here in these streets are with retail companies like Target and Walmart. Actually, I'm wrong. Actually, I take that back. Retailers are starting to close doors because of Amazon. So those jobs are in the food service sector. And we all know that those jobs don't pay anything. And there are no benefits unless you're a manager. Unless you're the assistant manager or the manager. That's the only way you can get medical benefits. Otherwise, you get nothing because you're not full time. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, people. And they're cutting people off at the knees. They're going to continue to do it. They're going to keep doing it because they can get away with it. We have all of these things that are going on in our country right now. We got the situation with the two young brothers, the Omega Psi Phi cats in Philly at that downtown Starbucks. We got that situation. We had that situation with that coon Stephon Clark. We have the situation with Muhammad Noor up there, the cop, the Somalian cop that shot that Australian Caucasian woman. They put him in jail. They actually arrested him. He had to quit his job. They arrested him and he bailed out. He bonded out. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, the guy that killed Philando Castile, who murdered Philando Castile, is walking around with $300,000 in his pocket from back pay, from him being on administrative leave, paid administrative leave. And there's no telling how much more money. He probably put up a GoFundMe and got, $500,000 for killing that brother. Jamar Clark got killed by a Minneapolis police officer, and they ruled that they said he tried to take one of them gun, and that's why they killed him. But he got killed by a Minneapolis police officer. Then they had some white supremacists at a rally over there in North Minneapolis. They had some white supremacists roll up over there and start shooting at brothers. Now, they ended up arresting all four of those guys, but for those guys to be bold enough to think they could just sit up here and try to kill some black men, because the police were actually out there. They were actually out there because they were protesting in front of a police precinct. And would you believe they rolled up on them and shot at them? This was like before I left Minneapolis. This was like 2015. Yeah. Late 2015, early 2016 when that happened. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. They ain't do nothing. Hopefully, them Somalians around there in St. Cloud and Minneapolis will tear that mother up if that brother goes to prison. Hopefully there'll be some Somalians on the jury. Because if they at least get one of them Somalians on the jury, which they're going to try to keep from not having them on the jury, I guarantee it's going to be a hung jury. It's going to be a mistrial. Because they ain't going to have one of their own go to jail for killing no white person with all the stuff they got going on up there. Because let me tell you something, man. Them white folks, they getting real bold. They was getting real bold up there in Minneapolis when I was up there. Oh, they were getting real bold. Because in St. Cloud, there was a Somalian chick where she went into an Applebee's with her friends and family, and some white woman came over there and hit her in the face. Said, "I'm tired of you Somalians," and hit that woman in the face. And they called the police and had her arrested. She actually, that woman actually had to answer for putting her hands on that sister. This happened right before I moved down to San Antonio. So Trump is making it easy for us to choose a side. I mean, I don't need Trump to help me pick a side, because I already picked a side before he got elected or selected. But the difference is he's making it clear that a side needs to be chosen, and you need to choose wisely. Because one thing I'm noticing on Facebook is black women are starting to get black. You know who's really feeling the heat from Trump? You know who's really feeling the heat from this Trump administration? Is black women. Oh, it's black women. Black women are catching hell right now. Black women are catching hell right now. Because when they start, see, you have to understand all the bastard baby making that black women have engaged in, and all the foolish, all the feminazi politics that black women have been a part of these past the mammyism that's been going on the past maybe 7 or 8 years. The chickens are coming home to roost. The chickens are starting to come home to roost with these black women, because these brothers are like, look here, man, you sisters been shitting on us, especially since, even more so during the 8 years that Obama was in there. Okay? They've been catching hell. Black women been catching major hell. Because they're, like I said, they're cutting everything. So all the bastard baby makers out here who've been having babies and getting on welfare, sitting on welfare, they get ready to stop that. welfare reform right now, it will be you're only going to be able to get on welfare for a little bit of time. And if you do, you're going to have to work. Oh, I know all the welfare hoes is mad about that. You're going to have to work. They got it fixed up now. You got to work 20 hours a week or 30 hours a week. And you got to do community service. And you're going to have to do community service. I think it's either or both. So you can't just sit at home able-bodied like you did under Obama, friendly Obama, and get them benefits like you used to. Oh, no. No. Mm-mm. Those days are over with. The days of these select black women sitting on their behinds, getting welfare, and just having all these bastard babies like they did the last 10 years, 20 years. Those days are over with. Those days are over with, dog. The cost is too great. The cost is too great. Because you have to understand, they always gonna keep pumping more and more money into the defense budget. 60% of our federal budget goes to defense. Because we gotta make sure corporate America can go out here and set up shop around the world. And if a country doesn't put up with it, then we go in and we pump propaganda on TV and out of the radios telling people, oh, we got some terrorists over there. Oh, we got some communists over there. We're going to have to kill these people. Otherwise, we're going to have terrorists over here. And it's all an inside job. It's all an inside job, people. It is an inside job. Trust me when I tell you. There is no threat to America outside of America. If you think so, I don't know what to tell you. But there's no threat other than the one we create that comes from us. Don't believe the hype. Because that's exactly all it is. It's hype. It's all hype. And people are saying, oh, Trump ain't going to be in there. He ain't going to be in there. He going to get impeached. Do you know how long it's going to take for him to get impeached? And there's no guarantee that he's going to get impeached. There's no guarantee he's going to get impeached. There is no guarantee, people. You got people walking around here, oh, he's going to get impeached. Says who? Bill Clinton got impeached and he didn't leave the White House till he's good and ready. Because not only do you can impeach a president, but in order for him to in order for that impeachment to be exercised, they have to have a conviction. See, Richard Nixon got convicted of a felony, and President Ford had to pardon him, and presidents usually do that to because they don't want our country to be embarrassed, which kind of makes sense because the world is watching, and we're always walking around here talking about how moral we are, but yet, and pointing fingers at other people, but yet look at our country. We talk about China's human rights record and Syria and all these other countries, and look at our human rights record. Look at our human rights record. Huh? It sucks. Look how we treat black people in this country. Every other week there's a black man getting killed. Every other week there's a black woman or a black child getting shot by one of these deputized white citizens or one of these race soldiers posing as police officers. So it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. This country hated Barack Obama so much that they wanted to put Trump in the White House. Don't let that be lost on you, dog. Because putting Obama in there didn't do nothing but antagonize the white supremacists. And look at them now. But I like my white supremacists out in the open. I like my white supremacists out in the open. I want to know where you are and who you are. And I want to be ready in case you pull some stupid crap. Because of the climate here in America, I had to go get me some new heat. I had to go get some new heat. And I went out and got a concealed carry permit. Concealed carry weapon permit. Okay? I went and got mine. Because I'm not going to get left out here to twist in the wind. I ain't going to be left out here twisting in the wind and one of these white supremacists roll up on me. I'm not going to, I want to have the capability to be able to protect myself. I want the capability of being able to make sure that if somebody does something that threatens my life, I have recourse. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to go out here because I got a concealed carry weapons permit that I'm going to go out here and start popping caps in people's asses. That's not what I'm going to be out here doing. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody roll up on me and throw lead at me or sit up here and try to jack me, because I'm gonna tell you right now, we got a lot of white criminals up here in the Northwest. Where you live at, you might have some of the black crackheads, trying to break in your house. Well, up here, they're all white women and all white men. You got a few blacks out here on them drugs, breaking in people's houses. But every day when I look at the news, they always got some white man's face plastered, or some white woman's face plastered on the screen. And they're always talking about how this person, this person broke into somebody's house to go get stuff to buy drugs. Oh, the drug addicts up here. It's a major problem up here. This meth, the meth problem in America is worse than these white folks are willing to admit. That meth is tearing white folks' asses up in America. But they don't want to take that L. They don't want to take that L, man. Heroin is tearing white folks up. Opioids is tearing white folks' asses up in this country, and it's like, oh well. They're like, okay, oh well. And you notice there's been this shift because Chuck Schumer, Senator Chuck Schumer from New York, he's supposed to be putting together legislation to get marijuana taken off the Schedule 1 narcotics list, because they see that marijuana is raising a whole lot of money in this country. They know what's going on. You have to understand something. Somebody asked me not too long ago. They say, Ice, why is it that they don't like marijuana in America? And I said let me just, before I answer that question, I'm gonna say this. You already know Canada just made marijuana on the federal level in Canada. They just made it legal. That's one reason. They're seriously trying not to be left behind the 8 ball. That's one of the reasons why they're talking about taking it off the Schedule 1 drug list. Because look at John Boehner, former Speaker of the House. He's on a board of directors of a cannabis company. Thought you'd ever see that? Thought you'd ever see that coming? The reason why that there's always been a push for opioid medications is because we have very strong relationships with countries that provide us with opioids, with opium. Turkey is one of our main suppliers of opium that they use to make medications out of. Afghanistan is the number 2 exporter of opium. The reason why Turkey is a ally of us, the reason why we have such a close relationship with Turkey is because of the opioids, of the opium that they sell to us. That's why. And the pharmaceutical companies have had a lock on it. And it was them that was getting Congress to demonize marijuana. They're behind it. Just like 3 strikes and you're out was a invention of some white supremacist think tank in Washington. Some company affiliated with the private prison complex. I put that in my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1. I wrote about that in my book. about the private prison industry and how 3 strikes and you're out got created and how Bill Clinton jumped all over it. Don't get it twisted, because I know some of you will. But you got to look at this situation. You got to look at the end game. What's the end game here? They stand to make trillions of dollars off marijuana. And that's why I keep telling people to get to go and start investing in cannabis stocks right now. So when it pop off, you can become rich or become wealthy. But you got so many black folks that play around all the time, and they're so worried about turning up and being a clown and a mammy that we still want to sit around and wait for white daddy and white mommy to tell us what to do. Because once it pops off, the stock prices are going to be too high. You're going to have cannabis companies out here that are whose stock price is going to be higher than Amazon's. Because it ain't just the smoking of marijuana or the edibles that they're going to make the money off of. They're going to make the money off of it. How they're going to make money off marijuana is the derivative products that are going to be made from the flower, from the leaves, from the stem, from all facets of the plant is useful. Man, they got topical creams out here. If you got pain, they got topical creams you can put on to help you with pain. They got I was talking to this white dude. They got this topical cream, this cannabis cream that you could use like how you would use that. All you got to do is rub it on your genitalia, and it helps with impotence. Dude, there's all kind of products out here, even now, that come from cannabis and that people are sleeping on. Oh man, it's no joke. I'm telling y'all, it's no joke. Cannabis is no joke. Cannabis is going to be, it's going to be so huge once they take it off the Schedule 1 list. It's going to be huge. Because there's so many products you can make out of cannabis. You can make cooking oils out of it. You can make bio fuels out of it. You can make gas out of it. You can make oil for cars out of it. Plus, it will save our agriculture. It'll save our country tax-wise, because not only are they going to get state money, state taxes from it, they're going to get federal taxes from it. So as you can see, cannabis is no joke. And what I'm trying to do is, all the brothers and sisters out there, if you do not have a criminal record and you got some money, you should be going for some type of cannabis license in your state if you live in a state where there's recreational marijuana right now. Medical is real hard to get, but a recreational license is a little bit easier to get. You got to have you can't have no criminal record. You can't be charged with nothing. None of that. Just like buying a gun. You cannot have a criminal record if you want to get some type of cannabis license. Because I'm going to tell you right now, here's what's going to happen. When the corporations are going to get into mass they're gonna do like they did with the farming industry, with livestock and and farms that created that grow vegetables. What did they do to the business? You got businesses out here that opened up buildings where they got a gang of, they might have 2,000 hogs in one building, all squeezed in together. They might have a whole bunch of cows, the dairy cows. You got dairy cow. I mean, come on, man. Come on. When the corporate America structure gets in on the cannabis industry, they're gonna ruin it. Just like they did the food industry. They're gonna ruin it because they're gonna come up with GMO weed. They're gonna start coming up with. They're also gonna come up with. They're gonna come up with strains that they're gonna ruin. They're probably gonna ruin a lot of the good strains out there. They're probably not gonna be as powerful because right now, yeah, Washington got some good bud, but still Colorado got the best bud because you could smoke a little bit of Colorado weed and get high as hell. Okay, you'll be buzzing. Whereas this weed here in Washington, it gets you high, but it's like you know what I'm saying? It gets you high, but it ain't like that Colorado weed. Colorado got the best weed. That's why now if you go to Colorado, oh man, you try and get an apartment in Denver. Oh man, it's crazy. Now you can probably get a place in one of them little dinky towns, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But they're going to ruin the marijuana industry because the mom and pops are the ones running it now. But in states like California, they got all these, a lot of corporations with multiple dispensaries. Damn. Multiple dispensaries in the Bay Area and down there in Southern California. It's crazy. It really is. But we're going to have to pick a side, people. The time is now. That's why I keep telling people, get on this cannabis thing now. Don't wait till the corporations start ruining the industry. Get in now, even if all you gonna do is just invest your money. Even if all you gonna do is just buy stock. Buy that stock and just sit on it. Buy that stock and hold on to it, and just let it grow. Buy more stock. Okay? Get in on it now. Don't wait till the last minute. But this is part of the long-term strategy, people. When I talk about the end game, What's the end game? The end game is the result of everything you're doing up to that point. The outcome. That's why I tell people, whenever you see these Caucasian people on TV grinning and smiling and saying, hey, it ain't that bad, black folks. And look at here, we got some coons here on the panel that say everything is going good. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. We can do better than that, player. We can do better than that. You can't believe nothing them people say. The fact of the matter is, people, we're going backwards economically in this country. And if we're going backwards economically in this country, that means black people are in trouble. When white America sneezes, black people catch pneumonia. Can you dig it? They're shutting it down on poor people in this country. And all these people that got all these kids, and they thought because, Obama was in there for as long as he was, and black folks got real lazy under Obama. We got real lazy. We were already lazy, but we got triple lazy under Obama. Because, like I said, most black folks look for somebody else to work on their behalf. That's our mentality. We always expect somebody else to do our work for us. We always feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to stick my neck out here for white supremacy, but why don't you do it, Iceman, since you got more confidence than I do? Why don't you stick your neck out there? Why don't you stick your neck out there? I don't want to stick my neck out there. Why don't you stick your neck out there? That attitude is going to get you in trouble. I'm telling you right now, that attitude is going to get you in trouble. Because while you're sitting there turning up and partying and getting drunk and getting high and not doing anything, sooner or later one of these white supremacists are going to roll up on you, and you're not going to see it coming. Because in your mind, we still live in a post-racial society. In your mind, because you can have sex with white women, that you're free. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You're not free. You are not free. And you're always in constant danger. I'm not saying going out here getting a concealed carry permit and getting some heat is going to solve all your problems. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that we have to be careful. We have to be careful, people, because we are living in dangerous times. We're living in dangerous times, people. And if you think it's going to get easier, you got another thing coming. It's about to get harder and harder. Because Trump ain't playing. He ain't playing. He's not playing. And I'm telling you right now, if he had it his way, you would be back on a plantation. And believe it or not, some of you would like to join him on that plantation because a lot of you guys are lazy. A lot of you guys love White Daddy because when White Daddy shows up, that means there's free nigga trinkets for everybody. And some of y'all are just so used to living like roaches. Black people been living like roaches for the past 500 years. All we want to do is just get by. That's why a lot of y'all don't see a problem with buying bootleg CDs and DVDs. You don't see anything wrong with that because you're used to living like a roach. I talk about that in my book, The Game of Life, according to the Iceman Volume 1, which you can get at Amazon.com. You can get the paperback version. You can also get the Kindle and tablet version at Amazon.com. The Game of Life, according to the Iceman Volume 1. And I'm still writing my new book, the Dating Bible. I'm still working on it. But people, let me tell you something. Donald Trump is not playing about wiping you off the face of the earth. Now, right now, a little bit of the heat has been off black folks because you have to understand something. Crime in the black communities over the past 10 to 15 years has been going down. Believe it or not. So they're trying to get any and everybody caught up in the criminal justice system on some humbug shit. Either that, but you know what else they're doing? They're using these illegal aliens as tackling dummies. And what they're doing is they're building all out in these little desolate areas where hardly nobody living. They building these detention centers. And that's where the money's coming from right now in corrections. Locking up, putting people in them detention centers because they have no constitutional rights. So you can keep them people in there. You got people in some of those ICE detention centers. Some of those people been in there 6-7 years. They've been in there 6-7 years, dog. They making money off them fools. So now that they ain't too, a lot less brothers are falling for the okie doke as far as going to jail and prison. They say, well, we got to get somebody. Why do you think the policy in this country since Trump took over as president? Why do you think that there's been this huge push to deport folks? When all they're going to do is run back up in here. But see, what they're going to start doing from now on, though, is anybody that comes into this country illegally, you're going to get arrested. You ain't going to get detained. You're going to get arrested. Like Trump has already said this to them caravan of illegals that's talking about they on their way up here to bum rush the Rio Grande and come on, just bum rush their way over into American on the American side. Let me tell you something. Trump already done told them fools what he gonna do. And he's gonna do it. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna get rid of them. He's gonna lock them up. He's gonna lock their asses up. Believe that. Because like I said again, black people are committing less crime. So they have to find somebody to shit on. Normally they just jump on niggas. But now they jumping on these folks. Because they're an easy target. Anybody who is vulnerable, they're jumping on them. That's not saying that they won't get around to us. because they're still doing stuff they're still doing stuff to us, like they're cutting this welfare, but that's not affecting like the brothers. That's affecting black women. That's not affecting us, because I ain't on welfare. I don't need to be on welfare. And if I wanted to, yeah, I could go out here with the pole mouth and be out here begging and getting free stuff. But I ain't that kind of dude. If I don't need something, let me tell you something, even with my health problems, I'll get out there. I'll get out there and get back out there on the streets and hustle before I sit up here and take welfare. I'll be out here hustling before I do that. I do not want that is embarrassing. But some people ain't got no dignity. People like my ex-wife and some of the women that y'all done dealt with, and even some of y'all mamas. They ain't got no dignity. So they don't have a problem being able-bodied and being on welfare. And let me just say this real quick to black women. Black women, you better fix this schism between you and these black men. Because let me tell you something about these brothers. I just those of you who don't know, go to AskTheIceman.com and look to the right. I got a new Facebook page. So if you ain't hip to my new Facebook page, go to AskTheIceman.com, copy and paste that link. It's KJ Forde, Forde. That's my new Facebook page. Send me a friend's request so you can be in the know of what's popping with the Iceman. Yeah, I got a new Facebook page. And I was just on my Facebook page earlier today. And you know what I saw? I saw a whole bunch of black men writing on Facebook about how they're done with black women. And I'm telling you, a lot of these guys are under 35, ladies. I'm telling you, sisters, I'm telling y'all better fix it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, did y'all see that female white supremacist down in Macon, Georgia, jump on them two sisters? One of them was a captain. Y'all see that? You see how emboldened they are? That white woman hit that sister in the face. And thank God those sisters were in uniform. And they didn't hit that white woman back. Because I know had they been in street clothes, they probably would have knocked her ass out. And then her big overgrown son go sit up here and try to snatch the phone out of one of them hand after she started filming it. And yes, that white woman got arrested. Yeah, they only gave her a $650 bail. She only had to pay $65 and got out of jail. But still, she's gonna have to answer for that, because they're gonna have those sisters are gonna go down. Hopefully, them sisters won't bitch up and not and say they don't want to press charges. Usually with in an assault case, the district attorney doesn't need your consent. They'll just go ahead and charge that person. So even if she only get a conviction for simple battery, it's still a conviction. It's because what it was is that white woman did not like the fact that them sisters weren't kissing her ass. Talking about they took a parking spot from her. Y'all see that? I put it on my Facebook page. But that wasn't a huge story. That wasn't a big story. I saw it on the news up here. That's how I found out about it. I think the first time I saw it was Sunday, I think it was. I saw it. Because I think this happened earlier in the month. But it just got out there about 4 or 5 days ago, been in the news cycle. But it's been kind of hush hush though. It wasn't all over CNN and MSNBC. Y'all better, hey man, black women, you better fix this problem. And you better start apologizing to these black men you done wrong. You need to change your attitude, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be more and more black women alone. And let me just say this before I end this video. I was over here taking care of some business, and there was this younger black woman in there giving me play. She wasn't really my type. She was kind of big, but she was still in pretty good condition. She wasn't fat, but her butt was a little too big for my taste. And so she started trying to holler at me. So I gave her one of my cards. I said, "Here, call me so I can have your number." And she called me. I stepped out of my car to go get something, and then she called me, and of course I left my phone in the car, and then I called her back, and I left a message. She didn't leave a message. I left a message, and I never heard from her again. And I was telling one of my clients over the weekend when I had a session, I told him, I said, I didn't get mad because that chick flaked out. I didn't get mad. I actually forgot about her ass. But and see, like I said, I guarantee she got a gang of kids. I guarantee she probably lived with somebody, or she got a boyfriend. But yeah, she trying to shoot game at me. She trying to spit game at me. You see what I'm talking about, people? I didn't get mad. But it's that kind of flakiness and disregard for black men. And yeah, she might be in her late 20s, early 30s. She ain't feeling the crunch right now because she over there in East Portland, Northeast Portland, acting like a hood rat. But when it's all said and done, 10 years from now, she'll be begging for a date. You have to understand, brothers. A lot of these black women, they don't start understanding the error of their ways until they get old and ugly, or they already look like somebody like Lunel, the comedian Lunel. They look like her ass. I see black women out here look like her ass trying to throw play at a nigga. I'm like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, I ain't trying to holler at you. It's always some old goofball, Linnell looking black woman trying to throw some play. I'm like, man, if you don't get out of my face. But you black women are in trouble. You in trouble. Because these brothers have gotten fed up with black women. And we ain't talking about just basic, I'm basically fed up. These brothers are beyond fed up with black women. So I'm telling you, sisters, the long trail of wounded brothers that you leaving out here on these streets, it's going to come back to haunt you. Again, ladies, I'm telling you black women something. When you sit up here, when you black women sit up here and you collectively shit on these black men, that shit's gonna come back to haunt your ass. When you put bad energy out here in the universe, that bad energy is gonna come back and choke the life out of your ass. I'm telling you what I know. Karma is real. Karma's real, black women. And see, you got to understand something. Black women think because there's always some simp or some trick trying to holler at them that they ain't got nothing to worry about. That's that false narrative. That's that old bullshit ass narrative that a lot of black women take as their cue that there ain't really that much going on wrong out here socially for them. And then gradually as they age and get old and ugly, they realize that there's less men trying to holler at them. And then on top of that, the less men now trying to holler at them, most of those men are poor or broke. They ain't got a pot to piss in just like they don't. Then they get worried. But what do they do, gentlemen? What do they do? You guessed it. They get on online dating. Why? Because they ain't got no choice. When you get fat, old, and ugly, you don't have the benefit of going to a bar and plopping your fat ass down and getting all kinds of dudes to come over there and holler at you. It ain't gonna happen. That's why you notice you starting to see groups of 3, 4, 5, 6, and even more women sitting at a table talking all loud, and then you turn around and look over there and it's a bunch of below average looking, extra average looking chicks, or it's a bunch of ugly chicks, fat chicks sitting at the table together. Have you ever noticed that? See, I pay attention to stuff like that because it's my job. I pay attention to stuff like that. I pay attention to that kind of stuff. I pay attention to stuff like that. See, you ain't gonna fool me. You're not gonna fool me with the bullshit. All my paid subscribers, what I did with this video, this is the video that you should have got last week. Okay, so what I did is I did an extra long video, so that makes up for last week's video and this week. So we're caught up. So next week we're back on track. Okay? Go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/The Iceman Show, and donate, $5 a week. We ladies and gentlemen, we have to financially support black systems that are in place. If you donate $30, I appreciate it. But I would rather you donate $5 a week and get a tax write-off for it. And I could count on that $5 a week. That's just $1 a day. You can afford that. $5 a week to donate. Every week you got that money, or every month you got that money taken out of your check. Now remember, when you donate money to my nonprofit, whether it's directly at AskTheIceman.com and clicking on the donate button, or going to Patreon and donating, you're still getting a tax write-off. So save the receipt. Go ahead and print out the receipt you get if you donate directly to me, to donate directly to my nonprofit. Print out the receipt from PayPal and give it to your tax guy next year. Or if you're donating on Patreon, make sure you keep your paperwork from Patreon. But we need to look, you donating $100 one time, I appreciate it. But I would rather you donate $5 a week for 52 weeks a year, rather than you just donate $100. You hear a video and you decide you want to donate $100. Like I said again, I appreciate it, but if you donate every week or every month, then I can count on that money as a donation. And you're getting something in return. When you guys when you guys donate to my nonprofit and then you give me a topic that you want me to do for the show, we need to keep doing. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep doing that, people. And all of you guys that are tired of me talking about white supremacy, all of you guys that's all ISUE begging, look, you're getting something in return. You're getting a whole lot of game. You're getting a whole lot of information from my research. So you're getting something in return. So for those of you who sit up here, you won't even subscribe to my channel, but you'll bring your ass around every time I put up a video. This is why Black America is in the condition it's in. Because you think being financially responsible for black businesses is somebody else's job, not yours. And that's why you're not getting anywhere in life. You tuned into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Get at me on Twitter, at Mr. Freeze, the Iceman Show. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, the Iceman Show. And again, go to patreon.com/the Iceman Show and donate $5 a week. Let's get this popping. Let's get 100 people donating up $5 a week, people. The reason why I'm asking my people is because you're all I got and I'm all you got. You help me, I help you. Subscribe to my channel, Mad Voodoo Man. This is the Iceman. Holler at your boy.